Hey, what's going on, everybody? In today's video, I stumbled across a YouTube channel called Farrell McGuire because of this video right here that has no title, and I just sort of skimmed through it, and it seems to be about several different YouTube videos that have no titles, and I'm curious to see how we stumbled across them. And this is framed as more so a scary video, which you know we're all about here on this channel, so I thought it'd be really interesting if we just reacted to it. And I might react to more of his stuff in the future because, as you can see, if we take a look on this channel, there is so many interesting looking and really cool scary stuff on this channel, so shout out to him. But without further ado, let's get right into reacting to this video.
If you've been an avid viewer of YouTube in the last couple of years, you may have noticed a strange phenomenon on the platform that only occasionally rears its head. An anomaly that's so infrequent and transient that you might not even believe that you actually experienced it, much like spotting a Sasquatch far in the distance on some remote hiking trail. If you don't pay close attention to your recommended feed, then you may have never noticed it happening. But look a little closer, and you may eventually see a nameless video pop up. An upload that completely lacks.
That looks so creepy, bro. Just like that dark hallway by somebody, dark profile picture, only a few seconds. This looks like something somebody ported onto YouTube right from the dark web.
The title, solely relying on his thumbnail to communicate his identity. Nameless videos have been springing up on YouTube since at least 2020, but they've become a more frequent anomaly in the last couple of years. And like I just said, it's one that's very transient, which is due to the inherent nature of a video that completely lacks a title. If one of these uploads surfaces in your feed and you don't click on it, you'll lose it forever. When a video...
Yeah, that is the debacle, to save to watch later or to not save to watch later when you encounter something creepy like this, because you could probably stack them up really quickly.
Doesn't have a title, it becomes impossible to search for. This almost leaves these bizarre clips in the realm of urban legend. You might see one day, not click on it, and then never find it again, with the whole experience living in your...
True, bro. Yeah, I never thought about that. Nobody will believe you unless you save it to your watch later, which most people are not saving these creepy videos to their watch laters, or I imagine not, at least. But then again, you would have your video history, so I assume that you'd be able to go back and do that. But then again, there's a lot of videos in search history, and not being able to search through your search history with a specific word would definitely make that a lot harder, but I digress.
As what you may perceive to be some sort of false memory. But regardless, these uploads are very real. They often depict unexplainable and sometimes disturbing content.
What is that? I really need to know what
clearly the
is being
ambiguity
censored
implied
there.
by a video not having a name is a very deliberate choice by these uploaders. Today, we're gonna go through every corner of the...
Should I upload this video without a name? I feel like I'm too small to gain any traction if I do that to a video. But I mean, this video, as you guys can see, has no name and it blew up, but he's already established.
Section of YouTube, starting with the most prominent example of this trend, and possibly the most mysterious as well.
Yeah, millions of views, titleless video. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't like the pose.
This grainy, low-quality video shows a person in a mask playing a haunting melody on the piano while staring off into the distance. It only lasts for a brief 44 seconds, but that was enough for it to leave a major impact. After being uploaded in April 2024.
Yeah, that piano playing was actually really good. I'm not gonna lie. It didn't freak me out too much. It's just the fact that the person obviously had that white mask and was staring directly at the camera the whole time. But that doesn't seem too dark or bad-natured. It's probably just like an art project.
This untitled video would instantly go viral, finding its way into seemingly everybody's recommended feeds. I remember seeing this video on my...
So is this the first time something like this was done?
...homepage with this eerie thumbnail and complete lack of a title. I never clicked on it though, and the thought did enter my mind that maybe I just imagined it, but I didn't. It's a little surreal to be watching this a couple years later.
So
This
even he
nameless
thought that he
video
was
put up by a
imagining it.
channel
Interesting.
called Zeppelin, and it's accumulated a massive 4.5 million views. It has no description, but it does have a location.
What's the
channel that put
location?
up this video wants to communicate to you that it was filmed in hell.
Oh,
Obviously, I don't believe this was taken in hell, but I do enjoy the idea of a YouTube video that's set in a non-tangible location that exists outside this plane of reality. It does pair nicely
Well,
with
that,
the unsettling content of this video.
yeah,
along
it's a
with the
little
complete lack of
unsettling.
any other information to accompany it. When reading the comments on this video, you'll notice a disconnect in the response people
Yeah,
seem
exactly.
to
I
have to
thought it was comfortable.
Everybody seems to describe it as both calming and unsettling, two opposing feelings that you wouldn't really expect to be able to coexist. But keep this emotional paradox in mind, as it's going to
This
be
feels
a
so
reoccurring
calming, but also scary. This video feels like a distant voice calling me, wanting to protect me.
today.
Interesting.
Commenters also mentioned that they mostly got here because this video popped up on everybody's homepage. I wouldn't be surprised if you remember this video appearing somewhere in your YouTube feed, almost like a dream everybody had in the same night. But why was
Oh, that's a smart, you know, cute little reference. I remember the This Man phenomenon.
this video springing up everywhere?
That was such a cool ARG, bro. Like, this guy scared me so much when I was younger.
Investigating the metadata more closely only brings up more questions. This video, unlike some of the others we'll look at today, truly doesn't have a title. It's not using a blank character or some other hack to make it merely look like it doesn't have a title. It actually doesn't have any name attached. This shouldn't be possible. When uploading a clip to YouTube, adding a name is mandatory.
Yeah, and how did you do it, Mr. McGuire? Yeah, how are they all doing this?
You can't simply upload a video that doesn't
Well, I
have
guess
a
he's
title.
about to tell us.
And yet, that's exactly what Zeppelin has done. At the time this video was put up, it was the only piece of content on this channel, which itself was created in 2020. It originally didn't have a description, but somewhere along the line, one would be written. It
Woman.
would simply state, woman, which may offer a clue as to the gender of the person in the mask. Maybe looking at the video itself a little closer may offer some answers. It appears to be set behind the curtains of a stage, perhaps in a school gymnasium considering the tiling on the wall. You could surmise that this is a backstage piano that's normally used to provide music for whatever play or musical is being carried out on the stage that exists off camera. But hang on, something is off here. Take a look at the wall again.
Yeah, it looks like 1 is written on the door.
See that number? It's backwards. This video has been mirrored. It's a relatively inconsequential detail, but
Alright, we'll flip it. Let's see.
it's still odd nonetheless. Looking at that same spot on the wall, we can also see some power outlets, which appear to be Type C, possibly placing this video in Europe. But beyond that, there's not really much else we can uncover from this video. There's nothing to suggest any deeper mystery or narrative at play here, but that wouldn't stop internet sleuths from trying to find one. With this video popping up in so many people's feeds, it became
Surprised that guy wouldn't upload again, considering how many videos, or not how many videos, how many views it got. Millions? I would definitely upload again.
a bit of a popular mystery. People want to find out why this video is everywhere.
Oh, another video posted an hour ago, this time the location being heaven. Oh, so he has uploaded since then.
Was it a marketing stunt for some bigger project? Was it the entry point into a disturbing internet rabbit hole? Netizens would start digging. They'd fail to identify the song being played in the video, meaning it's either an original piece or just simply improvisation. They'd also try to identify the woman in the mask. One German language TikToker known as Dunkelkammer would claim that this was all a project of Helenka CH, a Swiss comedian and performance artist who's known for playing the piano. She does appear in some videos wearing a black wig similar to the one in the Zeppelin video, but I think this connection is shaky at best. There's nothing to connect Helenka to Zeppelin beyond the fact that she's from Europe, plays the piano, and has worn a black wig in the past. The TikToker didn't offer any evidence either, merely stating that it could be Helenka. No, I don't think this is an elaborate project by an established artist, nor do I think there's any deeper meaning to this at all. I think the second video on this channel provides just enough
Beardance.mp4. Okay, so now we're gonna get into some creepy stuff.
context to explain this whole thing.
Ooh, he's getting groovy.
Uploaded only a month after the first video, this second one,
Yep, heaven.
Beardance.mp4, also doesn't have a description. And this time, the video's location is set to heaven. This clip proudly displays a person in a suit and bear mask doing a silly dance, accompanied by what's obviously improvised piano. The music starts off calm, but gets more chaotic as the 35-second video goes on, enticing the bear to dance faster and faster until
Oh
it
no.
can't keep up and ultimately collapses. You'll notice the tiling here matches the first video perfectly, and while it's dark, you can't make out what appears to be some sort of cloth hanging above the tiles. Perhaps a curtain. You could
Is this a shower then? A shower room inside of a, I don't know, like high school or college?
surmise that this video was taken in front of the stage with the curtain fully drawn. I don't think Zeppelin is an elaborate art project. I think this is a result of some theater kids screwing around. The
Yeah.
suit worn by the person in the bear mask is incredibly ill-fitted and looks very much like a costume you would see in a high school play. You could say the same thing about the dress worn by the piano player in the first video. I think Zeppelin is simply a student who uploaded a video that was just vague and visually interesting enough to capture people's attention, in turn creating a viral video that lacked any sort of purpose. I think it can be hard for internet sleuths to deal with situations like this. Everybody always assumes there's some deeper narrative at play or some information waiting to be
Oh yeah, most of the time there is, right?
uncovered. But sometimes the internet is just weird and it's nothing more complicated than that. That being said, there still is somewhat of a mystery here. Why this video gets shown to so many people? How is it possible to put a video on YouTube with a blank title? We're going to answer those questions today, but not quite yet. You see, Zeppelin is not the only channel on YouTube uploading unnamed videos. We're still at the entrance of this rabbit hole, so why don't we travel a little deeper?
Oh, okay, let's do it. Hello, Angel. Feel like something's gonna pop up in the background. It's gonna fade in.
This video depicts a statue of an angel sitting alone in the middle of a cemetery in the dead of night. It appears to be lit by a bright flash originating from the viewpoint of the camera, which may suggest that it's a still photo despite all the jitter and VHS noise, which in turn implies that this is in fact a video of a static scene. The visuals are accompanied by the song, A Faint Signal by Infinity Frequencies, who is a musician famous for their work in the broken transmission genre, a form of music that samples and loops very short snippets of commercial jingles and other lost pieces of forgotten TV and radio broadcasts. I can't play the song in this video for copyright reasons, but I have made a couple broken transmission albums myself, so what you're listening to now is my own take on this genre. Since the samples broken transmission tends to source from are very short, these songs often end up
He's an
repeating
artist
the same
too, that's
few bars
cool.
over and over again, almost creating a sort of drone, which thematically matches up nicely with this single unchanging scene in a graveyard. Just like that Zeppelin video, this upload was also put up in May 2024, and it too would quickly go viral. It's currently sitting at just under 5 million views. It has no title, and the description merely credits the song in the video. Almost every commentator is talking about how this clip just inexplicably popped up on their home screen, and once again, there's that talk of being unsettled.
I expect it to be scary AF, but it's actually comforting even if it's a bit unsettling. Okay, so yeah, there's a trend with like all of these nameless videos. Something supernatural going on.
Comforted at the same time. The video was uploaded by a channel called Somebody, and unlike Zeppelin, there's a lot more to uncover here. The next few uploads would follow the same format. Broken transmission or other internet-based genre of ambient music plays accompanied by some liminal space. This video features an iconic piece by digital artist 918. It depicts a shopping cart in front of a bungalow
I don't know who that
in
is.
an American-style suburb, wrapped in a looming red dusky sky. It's a scene that feels familiar, but it's just uncanny enough to not feel real.
Yeah, it's unsettling because what would that shopping cart be doing in a suburban neighborhood?
From a dream, rather than from your actual life. The next upload features an empty room that seems very familiar, doesn't it? Not in some liminal space animoya, but rather like I've actually seen this space somewhere before. Do you feel like that as well?
Yeah.
If you do, it's because this is a digital recreation of the room
Oh, it was like that little singing Barbie doll. I remember this thing. Is it Maria? Or, oh, I Feel Fantastic. That's what the video is called. I Feel Fantastic. Okay.
In the I Feel Fantastic video.
There we go. I'm on
point. It really
point.
takes on a different tone when that eerie mannequin isn't singing in the middle of it. It's like the owner just packed up and left, and the only thing left behind is the lamp sitting in the corner to light the room. It's like a reminder that even in the realm of iconic, disturbing internet videos, all things will eventually pass. This is the gist of the first few videos on the Somebody channel. Untitled videos featuring liminal spaces accompanied by eerie internet ambient music.
That's the,
It's reminiscent of the
what's that, level 43 of the Backrooms, I believe?
The liminal space compilation videos you would see a few years ago. But things would start to evolve as the uploads kept rolling in.
Okay, what's this one? Okay, I don't like this at all. It's a supermarket, but it's closed. But for some reason, that light is still on.
Like the others, but there's something off about this one.
Yeah, and then, like, the milk is spilled. Why wouldn't they pick that up before it closed at night? Somebody must be hiding in this place, or maybe it's a homeless person living in this place. Something is off.
The song credit that's usually in the description isn't right. It only displays 3 question marks and nothing else.
Okay, so he made that song.
The scene we're shown here is a grocery store in the middle of the night. Once again, it's a familiar setting presented in an unfamiliar way, which is the most effective method of evoking that liminal space feeling. The lights are out and the only illumination is coming from the strip lights on the dairy cooler. We can see some jugs of milk laying on the ground, as if somebody's been messing with the merchandise after the store closed.
Exactly.
Which could imply that we're not alone. You'll notice something new in this video. The movement isn't just isolated to VHS noise and jitter. There's actually dust floating around in this scene.
Yeah, I noticed
that. This isn't just a still image anymore. As the video nears its end, the dust seems to get a little heavier, and then...
Someone's coming? How much you want to bet? Oh no. Guys, I'm scared. Someone's gonna... Oh, hello.
A figure very briefly comes into view.
Who are you?
At which point the video completely cuts out. In a subsequent upload, we can see a CRT TV mounted on a column inside a completely...
Alright, so at this point it's just analog horror.
The screen is only displaying static, but eventually, just for a fleeting moment, a face almost comes into view, but quickly disappears, being replaced by a piece of text.
Rapture is near.
Oh no.
The face pops up a couple more times, and just before the video
Guys,
cuts
it's the
out,
rapture.
we get another title
Submit
slide.
to Christ.
Again, it's only on screen for a single frame, and it's very easy to miss.
Everything you love will die.
These are the first pieces of actual exposition we've gotten for this channel.
Saved.
But what does it mean? There's clearly a reoccurring theme of death, but before we start uncovering the narrative that connects all these videos, we need to keep going. Things only get more dynamic from here.
Ooh, okay. I've seen videos like this. Someone's gonna be blocking the road, and they're gonna, like, jump the guy in the car. I know in, like, some of the European countries, there's something that actually... Why the heck are we in a cornfield?
Scene. The same dust and VHS filters here, but we're now moving through a cornfield.
Yeah, I've seen some robbers, like, stop people on highways and
get a couple of
videos like that.
Atmospheric shots of trees and grass only being lit by a light coming from the camera, until the video cuts out without leaving us much we can add to the story. But the same can't be said about
but that's
the next video
weird. Why would you just go into the woods and take photos at night?
We're now in
what context is that normal?
Hospital. It's not the middle of the night, and it doesn't appear to be abandoned, but there's still nobody here. As the scenes come and go, a floating light can eventually be seen at the end of a dark hallway.
What is that, the cameraman?
Or the walls and floors, as if it's trying to escape this place.
So this is like a spirit.
Abruptly, but the next upload appears to pick up right where it left off. We seem to be in the
what that reminds me of in Garad Crovy, when you're escorting like the soul of Dr. Maxis into the funnel or whatever, near the last step of the Easter egg.
Of some dilapidated eastern neighborhood on a gloomy, overcast day, maybe in Russia or northern China. The light now appears to be outside, floating aimlessly around the gray, rundown apartment buildings. The orb keeps rising, and in the final scene of the video,
another
we can
one.
see several lights floating up
lots.
towards the sky.
Souls ascending to heaven.
The Somebody channel is showing us a post-rapture world, an empty earth only filled with the things we left behind. The white figure in the darkness, the bright orbs of light trying to escape mazes of hallways and buildings to find
so
their
are these
way to
people
the
who
sky.
are not saved?
We can easily label these as spirits or ghosts finding their way out of the human world and into whatever lays beyond. Liminal spaces are often presented as a sort of dream reality, places in between, empty settings that resemble the real world but are just off enough to disqualify them from being real.
Yes.
What better way to present liminal spaces than in a world that recently experienced a rapture? The Somebody channel is one of the more interesting art pieces I've seen on YouTube. It doesn't present you with an explicit and overbearing narrative. It merely shows you these calming but slightly disquieting videos that don't have a title. You can find an underlying story if you choose to, but you also don't have to. You can take these videos at face value, as what many commenters describe
Should you?
as an internet checkpoint. This is a concept that's actually been
Yeah,
around
I've actually seen that comment a lot before. The internet checkpoints when a video is like recommended to everyone all at once.
for a long time. When I was a teenager, internet checkpoints were usually presented in the form of a vaporwave song, a genre featuring slowed down samples of sanitized corporate sounding music from the 80s and 90s, accompanied by some nostalgic imagery, like screenshots of Windows 95 or clips of some
Or what is the nature of reality?
Nintendo 64 game. These internet checkpoints were
That's
kind
not
of
calming
like
at
the digital
all.
equivalent of a roadside lookout you might come across while making your way through a long car trip. It's an opportunity to stop whatever you're doing and just silently reflect for a few seconds, to experience a moment of mindful awareness in cyberspace. This trend never really died out, but it definitely lost a bit of prominence in the mid-2010s, likely coinciding with the decline in vaporwave's popularity. But the advent of liminal spaces and subsequently liminal space compilation videos brought the idea of an
The
internet
end of the
checkpoint
back
back into
rooms.
the public consciousness. And in particular, the Somebody channel revived the trend with a newfound fervor.
Hey, shout out somebody.
These videos are truly the perfect form of an internet checkpoint. They occasionally appear in your recommended feed, but without a title, they can't be searched. You can never consciously look for them. The only way to experience one of these checkpoints is to stop whatever you're doing and take a moment to soak it in. While the Somebody channel does indeed have a narrative, it's most widely known as a channel that publishes internet checkpoints. And with these videos garnering so many views, it's no wonder why other channels would begin to emulate this format. Another prominent user is this one, whom I can't actually name because they don't have one. Just like
Ooh.
Somebody, they post nameless videos of liminal scenes.
That's super cool. Not even the channel as a name, but what the heck was that? Those little eyeballs, bro? Hold on.
To upload having 1.5 million.
Let me see this.
This channel accompanied by various like this format. Another prominent user is this one, whom I can't actually name because they don't have one.
Yeah, that is terrifying. Like all those eyes on that street, bro.
Just like Somebody, they
And
post
then another
nameless
one
videos
appears.
of liminal scenes, accompanied
Yeah,
by
that bridge, bro.
various forms of
Holy
internet
crap, that would be
ambient music,
scary.
whether it's broken transmission
Imagine being
or
on
some
that at
other
3 a.m.
post-vaporwave subgenre.
Imagine
Some
not
of these
even being in
videos
a
have
car,
lot
just
of
walking
views,
across
with their
that
most
bridge.
viewed upload
Ugh.
having 1.5 million. This channel is not unique. Both the format and the motifs are a direct copy of Somebody, and there's several other channels that follow this exact design.
I respect
Chances are,
that.
if you've seen a nameless
I
YouTube
like
video
that
pop
little
up on your
community.
homepage, it likely comes from one of these Somebody copycat channels. You could even argue that Zeppelin unintentionally made an internet checkpoint. The creepy dark imagery, the calming music, it all fits the format. But you can't use the concept of an internet checkpoint to explain all nameless YouTube videos. There are corners of this strange world that don't quite fit that mold.
Okay, and what would
Like all the
those
others
be?
we've looked at today, the following video has no title, and it also centers around a song, but the content of this
hello,
upload is
anime
quite
woman.
different. I can't actually play you any of the
Bunch
audio
of
here
Japanese
because
stuff.
it's
Is
copyrighted,
this
but
in Japan?
judging based on the visuals that are now on your screen, it probably wouldn't be very hard to guess what this music sounds like. This is a Vocaloid song, a popular
okay.
genre of Japanese electronic pop music that utilizes synthesized
Yeah,
vocals.
Hatsune Miku type
The most
stuff.
popular figure in this genre is Hatsune Miku, whom I'm sure you've heard of. Hatsune Miku and some of the other popular Vocaloid artists aren't actually artists at all, and are instead more like products, characters that were developed by a team of people working for a corporation. This Vocaloid song, though, isn't like that.
Yeah, not really
This
my
was
thing.
indeed created by a single person, one that came out of nowhere and uploaded a nameless video that garnered 26 million views. While the content of this video and the music that accompanies it may seem lighthearted on the surface, it is in fact hiding something a little darker.
Ooh.
Around 50
We gotta
seconds
translate the
in,
lyrics, I
vocals
guess.
abruptly stop, and long lines of text begin
what?
filling the screen.
Oh no.
January 8th, 2004, 11 p.m. It's funny. The train just wouldn't stop. It's finally stopped. Just what kind of
Oh
place
no.
is this?
The train took him to hell.
I don't know of such a train station. I want to get out of here. No one is in this place. The distant sun is...
This ominous text definitely contrasts with the cheery sound of the song. It wouldn't be the first time an upbeat pop song randomly hit a dark message within its music video.
Is this the one song where somebody was falling out of the building in it?
But this example is far from random. Quite a few years ago, there was a subsection of the internet that I got pretty invested in: beer money websites. If you're not familiar, it's a
Beer
community
money?
of people who use these platforms where you can earn a little bit of money by doing small tasks on the internet, like filling out surveys or signing up for websites or apps. That sort
Oh,
of
okay,
thing.
I
I used to
understand.
use these sites pretty often because it was the only way I could get money into PayPal as a teenager, and thus the only way I could buy Steam games. There have been a few beer money
Me
platforms
too,
over
bro,
the
I
years,
did
but
that.
none have been quite as user-friendly. as Free Cash, the sponsor of today's
Oh
video.
my,
Free
you
Cash is a free online
little
platform where you can
Mr. Man thing.
surveys with a $10 sign-up bonus.
Shut up.
Thanks to Free Cash for sponsoring this video. On January 8th, 2004, a woman using her cell phone would start a thread on 2chan, the
Just kidding,
Japanese
I
image
respect
board
the
that
grind.
4chan was based off of. She tells the other Anons that she's currently riding a train, but something feels off. She always takes this train to work, and he usually makes a stop every 5 to 8
Train to
minutes.
Busan. How many of y'all
Today,
saw
though,
that movie? That
it
was
hasn't
awesome.
stopped for
Zombie
20
movie.
minutes, and there doesn't seem to be anyone else on the train.
Yeah, it's
with
an
her.
infinite train, bro. It's taking her to
Anon's
hell.
question if she took the wrong train by accident.
I like
OP
your
doesn't seem to
video
think
effects
so.
here. It's just like a
She wonders
silhouette.
if she merely missed her stop. Users speculate if something might have happened to the conductor, which prompts OP to walk up to the end of the car to check on him. Blinds are covering the window and she can't see inside, so she knocks on the door. But nobody answers her. One user asks if OP could look out the window to get an idea of where the train may be heading.
Ooh,
She
do
mentions
that.
that they just got out of a tunnel, which is unusual since this train never normally travels through a tunnel. As she's trying to get her bearings,
Yep.
the train
She got into an alternate world, bro. She's in hell now.
stops at Kisaragi station. She's never heard of this place before, but decides to get off anyways
No,
as she doesn't want to travel
don't.
too far in the wrong direction. There doesn't appear to be anyone
She's
around.
cooked.
A couple users mentioned that they can't find any information about a so-called Kisaragi station on the internet.
Oh,
OP
that sounds
looks
like a
around the station
fire
for a
ARG,
schedule,
bro.
but
Especially
she can't seem to find one anywhere.
if this is back at a point where most people thought this would be real. That would be so sick.
She looks for a taxi, but again, there's nobody around. She decides to call her parents and ask if they could come pick her up, but they can't find any information about this train station either.
Oh
At this
no.
point, OP starts getting a little nervous. Nobody seems to
Wait, how
know
the heck
just
does she
where
have
she's ended
service
up.
in the alternate dimension?
Anons ask her to describe her surroundings. She says the station is in a rural area, surrounded by fields and mountains. She waits a little while longer, and eventually gets a call from her father. He tells her that multiple people have been trying to track down where this Kisaragi station may be, but nobody can seem to find it. He tells her to hang up the phone and immediately call 110, Japan's emergency number. OP does just that. She connects with an operator, but they too can't find any record of a Kisaragi station.
Yeah, she's
They
cooked,
get a
bro.
little frustrated and accuse OP of making a prank call, which causes the already frightened caller to unnecessarily apologize. She hangs up, and after realizing that she's essentially out of options, she begins aimlessly wandering down the train tracks.
What? No, you're gonna
She starts
die.
to hear the sounds of drums beating in the distance, far away enough that it could be easily mistaken as some
She's gonna get
auditory
ran over by the
hallucination.
train, dude.
It starts to grow in volume though, as if it's getting closer. The distracted OP falls and breaks the heel on one of her shoes.
Yep.
She calls home again. Her father says he's gonna call the police, but the sound of drums keeps growing closer. And Anon responds.
This is the end. The train and the station are gone. There's nowhere left to return to, no one to follow. The sound you hear is an illusion you're creating yourself. Run to the other side of the tunnel. If you stop, you'll be trapped between worlds, left to suffer.
What?
OP gets off the tracks and notices a person in the distance. She says he has a gentle face, but the Anons in the thread seem wary of the stranger hanging around this empty train station in the middle of the night, warning her to stay away from him. She doesn't listen though, and approaches the man to tell her about her situation. He says there's a train coming soon, one that will eventually stop at a town which has a business hotel, and that he can take her to it. The train arrives and they get on it together. OP asks the man where
I
they're
would not trust that man, bro.
headed, and he says, Hina.
Hell?
This is impossible. At the start of the thread, OP mentions that she was traveling through Shizuoka, which is far away from Hina, a tiny town at the foot of Mount Fuji. The OP ends the thread by stating the following.
We've been headed towards the mountains for some time. It really doesn't strike me as a place where trains would go. He stopped talking to me entirely. My battery's almost run out. Things are getting strange, so I think I'm gonna make a run for it. He's been talking to himself about bizarre things for a while now. To prepare for just the right time, I'm gonna make this my last post for now.
After this,
I'm assuming we never hear from her again. Maybe that she tried to run away and the guy offed her.
OP would never be heard from again. Kisaragi Station would very quickly become an iconic piece of Japanese internet lore, in a similar manner to Slender Man here in the West. A movie would be made about it.
Oh,
it would
that's
pop up as a
awesome.
motif in various pieces of Japanese internet art, including this song. While it may not be obvious if you're not familiar with this story, all of the lyrics to this song are about Kisaragi Station, not just those strange lines of text that briefly appear on the screen. The song is not only nameless, but the channel name is also intentionally left blank. According to the Vocaloid wiki, the creator of this song writes music about urban legends that originate from 2chan, which
Oh, that's
makes the
cool.
whole anonymous angle of their internet presence a fitting trait. Most of this artist's music videos are untitled, and many of them have millions of views, making this the most well-known corner of the world of nameless YouTube videos. So far, everything we've looked at today has been like this. A highly viewed YouTube video without a name that centers around music in some way. It's sort of weird that every nameless YouTube video seems to match this format, despite the 3 areas we've touched on being completely disconnected from each other. So for our next topic, we're going to explore something a little different.
Oh,
and
really?
much
Are
more
we now?
unsettling.
Let me. Ah! Jesus! That scared the crap out of me, and it wasn't even a jump scare, dude. That face genuinely scared the balls off me.
What you're currently watching is a viral video from
That was primal.
Let Me Hear Your War Cry.
Like, I was in the
It's a
middle
few
of
frames
reading that,
taken
and then
from
I
the
just get
movie Full
assaulted
Metal
by this
Jacket,
image.
with mannequin faces superimposed onto the characters. Even 16 years later, this clip is still
My
pretty
heart is
disturbing.
racing.
It's one of the earliest examples I personally remember watching of a bygone genre of creepy internet content. Horror shitposting. This niche is a form of horror media completely unique to the internet. Before the
No,
world-
I like horror crap posts, dude. I see a lot on TikTok. There's like one where Caillou puts on these glasses, and then like his whole family is a bunch of demons. I'll put it on the screen now if I could find it. It's so funny. And then he just goes around, you know, in this alternate vision state, just completely slaughtering the family. And then he takes the glasses off, and turns out he was just schizophrenic. But yeah, I see that. I saw the thing with like Diary of the Wimpy Kid movie with the dad going crazy and killing the family. So yeah, it's like schizo talk or whatever. So I'm familiar with this.
went online, horror was only represented in the traditional forms of legacy media. Movies, TV shows, books, short stories, etc. But the feeling horror gives you doesn't necessarily have to be tied to some larger work of art. You don't need to watch an entire movie to experience the emotions of anxious excitement that a good work of horror can evoke. And the internet was the
that
first
so?
time in human history where horror began to
see
detach
you.
itself from
Uh-oh.
larger works of traditional media.
They see
The
you.
exact same thing happened with comedy. With the advent of online video sharing, you didn't have to open a newspaper to the funny pages or watch an entire episode of a sitcom to get a laugh anymore. You could just load up YouTube and watch a 30-second viral video that packaged the experience of
True.
comedy into its barest form.
Beautiful thing,
Without
early
the
internet.
guardrails of traditional media, funny YouTube videos could turn up the absurdity dial way higher, which oftentimes made internet comedy much more effective than whatever you would
Yeah,
find
the
on TV.
YTPs, bro.
The same effect can
Those
be
were the
seen with
days.
horror
Those crazy
shitposting.
SpongeBob ones.
Horror works best in situations with low context, when you don't really know what's going on. The more you explain things, the less scary they become. A video like Let Me Hear Your War Cry works perfectly because there's no context at all. You're simply thrown into an absurd scene and given no clues to what's going on. This is the whole idea behind horror
Wake up.
shitposting. There's no narrative in these videos, just
You watching.
mysterious, surreal, and
Wake
frightening imagery that defies any and all logic. It's horror in
We
its
are
purest
awake.
form.
Uh-oh.
And our last topic today may just be the most effective implementation
I'm awake
of this
too.
concept.
It's nice to meet you. Oh, hi. How are you doing, bro? Dude, what the fuck? Fuck you. Whichever woman you are out there in the world that made this video, I hate you. I'm so scared. Please get this off.
If this video looks familiar, it's because I actually covered it a couple years ago.
Yeah, oh
But
thank God.
today, we're gonna dive a little
That,
deeper into
oh
this
my
channel,
God, dude, that
which
was
is called
scary.
User 9472. Like everything we've talked about today, this upload has no title. The description simply
Yelenia in
reads,
the hallway.
Yelenia in the hallway.
Yeah, why?
As you've just seen,
That's
the
so
video
weird.
consists of a woman repeatedly jumping in an agitated manner, whipping her head to the side in an uncomfortably extreme way. It's pretty easy to tell that she's not actually jumping multiple times, and the video is almost certainly cut up with slowed down and sped up parts looping. Though the woman is in full view at all times, because of the slow shutter speed of the camera creating a significant amount of motion blur, we never actually get a clear look at her face. It does seem like her mouth may be smeared with red lipstick, although like I said...
Yeah, dude, the face looks weird. Like, those are some big-ass pink lips.
It's pretty blurry, so it's hard to tell. This is a perfect example of horror shitposting. A nameless video showing a surreal scene that doesn't really make any sense. And that's the gist of user 9472's channel. All these videos are untitled clips that are simply unexplainable.
Hi.
Some of them are
what a
pretty
tall
freaky,
man.
like this one showing a tall humanoid figure standing unmoving in someone's driveway. Or this one showing a faceless figure in a wedding dress positioned in the middle of a field, accompanied by an ominous drone that goes on for almost 7 minutes. Some of these videos, however, are just absurd.
I might have to
without being
subscribe to
scary.
this guy.
Like this one that shows a person in a wig covered in various
This is
sheets
kinda
and
cool.
tablecloths miming a silent conversation to the camera for 30 seconds. A similar upload shows a man wearing a balaclava and a whole bundle of flashing Christmas lights while some distant speaker
Beautiful
faintly plays an
Christmas
old
tree.
opera recording. It's not creepy, it just doesn't really make any sense. In my original video on user 9472, we found the origins of several pieces of media they sourced from. It's clear a lot of the imagery here isn't original and is merely mutated versions of other images and videos found on the internet, which is fairly typical for the horror shitposting genre. But you can't say that about everything here. Those two shrouded figures, for example, are both original videos, along with the woman jumping in the hallway. In this video, which has since been deleted but once showed a bunch of masked figures standing around a living room in what appears to be a house in southern Europe based on the furnishings and fixtures. The conclusion I reached in my original video was that user 9472 was likely an art student, perhaps a woman who appears in multiple videos on the channel. But one thing I didn't account for
I like you
back
better
in
without the
day
glasses.
were the other deleted videos that were once on the channel, which may suggest a different and more disturbing conclusion. This 15-second clip shows a man rubbing something red on his stomach, maybe jam or perhaps even blood.
What?
The video is shaky and low quality, and unlike the other videos on user 9472's channel, it's not really scary. It's just creepy. Still though, it's not terribly out of place when considering everything else on this channel.
True.
The same cannot be said about this next video, which paints this user in a completely different light.
Oh no, he killed
This
somebody.
upload has been deleted now for about 4 years, and it likely didn't garner much attention before being removed. It's 14 minutes long, and just like the thumbnail suggests, this video shows a man's feet. It starts with a sign being held up, Giorno Uno, Italian for Day 1.
Okay.
I'll likely have to censor this, but we can see a man holding a lit candle much too close to his feet
Yo,
and dripping
take it
wax
away.
onto them. This would absolutely hurt a lot. Another sign is held up. Day 3.
Oh no, he's gonna melt his
This
feet
time,
over
the man
time?
pours an entire bowl of salt over his feet
No.
in the same areas he held the candle, which are not currently healthy patches of skin as you could imagine. He then dumps a bunch of ice cubes over the salt to increase the effect of whatever sensation he's trying to create by doing this.
You doing some
Before,
kind
he's
of
covering his wounded feet in an unknown
shmanic
clear
ritual?
substance. Maybe honey, although it's hard to tell. Day 5 rolls around and he's covering his feet in salt again, this time making sure to coat the underside of his feet as well. Day 6 is a little different. It involves no substances. Instead, he covers the hairy parts of his shins in duct tape. Beside
Okay.
him lays a pair of scissors,
Oh,
but
no.
he never actually shows what he does with them, because this is where the video abruptly ends. User 9472 isn't nearly
It's
as
so
shitpost
weird. He just wanted to like fillet his feet off, like only have bones for feet. I don't understand.
channel. Nobody would do something so extreme to themselves solely for the sake of making a creepy video. There's clearly something else at play here. There's been a theory floating
Yeah,
around
that's
for
weird.
a
I might
while
have to
now that
subscribe.
this channel contains fetish content. And while I
Oh,
didn't
never
necessarily
mind.
agree with that back in 2024, I'm certainly more inclined to agree with it now.
How would
The
this
foot
be a
video is
fetish?
genuinely one of the more messed up things I've seen on the internet. And by the way, it too was presented without a title. We've now explored every corner of the untitled side of YouTube. Unexplained videos,
I
art
have a hard
projects,
time
horror
finding
shitposting, and actual
It's possible that
uncomfortably
somebody
disturbing
likes that,
content.
but
That's about all there is to see. But there's still
I've
this
seen
one
crazier
question we
things,
haven't
so-
answered. Why are so many people uploading videos without titles? Logically, it doesn't make much sense. Why remove the only opportunity you have as a YouTuber to put a piece of text in front of a potential viewer? Surely, it can't be a good idea. right?
Except it is,
To
because
really
you
see
did
the
it.
effects of having an untitled video on YouTube, we're going to run a little experiment. I'm going to take one of my own videos and we're going to remove the title from it for a little while just to see what happens.
Ooh,
The video
okay.
that I've chosen to do this experiment on is my most recent one, Horizon FBI Database Part 2. There's a few reasons why I've chosen that video in particular. For one thing, it's fairly recent and it's still getting like a decent amount of views. I put it up around 3 days ago and it's still getting like 800-900 views an hour, and it's been pretty steady. There hasn't been any like wild fluctuations in views for the last day or so. So any change I make to the title or thumbnail will result in an immediate change to the amount of views coming in, like, you know, per minute, per hour, whatever. Also, thematically, it does fit that video quite well. That video is about people who disappeared, so to have the title disappear after a couple days,
Ooh,
it does
okay.
make sense
Yeah,
as like
that's
an
a cute
artistic choice
idea.
for this particular video, more so than any other video on my channel. So I've got YouTube Studio loaded up, and I'm gonna remove the title. All right, it's gone. We're replacing it with something called a zero width joiner character. If you're not familiar with that, it's basically a blank ASCII character. ASCII characters are basically like letters, numbers, just pieces of text on a computer, right? There are ASCII characters that aren't letters or numbers or punctuation, whatever. And this one in particular,
Yeah, I gotta
it's just
try
a
that
blank
one
space,
time, but
basically.
probably when
It's
I get
not
a
the
little
same as
bigger.
like a space on your keyboard, but it's a character that doesn't represent anything in a web browser. A lot of the videos we've looked at today, they don't actually have a blank title. They're actually using this zero width joiner character, and that's what I'm using too. So it's not technically a blank title, but to the end user, that's kind of what it looks like. It looks like there's no title at all.
Basically a blank
I've
title.
got to paste it in.
Come on now.
And oh man, I kind of feel like this is a bad idea. I feel like I'm gonna hit save and the views are just immediately gonna drop. I mean, why wouldn't they? Why would I remove the only piece of verbiage I can put in front of a potential viewer? They're not gonna know what the video is about, and why would they click on it? This experiment is just like an immediate disaster and the views just completely tank right away. I will put the title back because I don't want to lose income. You know, I am a middle-class content creator. We're not all Mr. Beast out here. But anyways, I'm doing it for you guys. We're gonna see what happens. There, I hit save. Let me just check on my phone to make sure that it worked. Oh man. Yeah, there you go. No title. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna wait about a day and we're gonna see what happens. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Alright, it's about a day later now, and I gotta say, the results are pretty unexpected. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I was a little skeptical of this whole thing. Removing the only piece of verbiage that you can put in front of a viewer just kind of seems like a bad idea. I just felt like as soon as I removed that title that the views were going to drop. That's not what happened.
So they
Almost
increased.
like right after removing the title, the views started to climb. And about an hour later, the views per hour had almost doubled. It went up from like 800 or 900
that is
to
so
almost
weird.
1600 or 1500. I don't remember the exact number. It increased by quite a bit. I got a little concerned that maybe I was clickbaiting my viewers in some way, and they weren't actually watching the video. So I checked the comments. I was getting quite a few comments from people who had clicked on the video because they saw that it didn't have a title and they were confused at that. But I was mostly just getting normal comments, like just people commenting on the video itself and not even mentioning the fact that the video had no title. So they weren't just clicking on it, they were actually watching it too. Now to really test that out, I ran something called an A/B test. If you're not familiar with that, an A/B test is a tool that YouTube gives us to be able to run multiple titles and or thumbnails at the same time, and it ranks which one does better on YouTube. If you've ever seen me like switch titles or thumbnails a lot in the first day, it's not that I'm like switching them manually. I'm probably just running an A/B test. It's actually pretty common for YouTubers to use this tool now because it just works really well. Now the important thing with an A/B test
Good to
is that
know.
it's not
I gotta
actually,
start doing that.
testing how many clicks a title or thumbnail gets. It's testing the amount of watch time each option garners. This is a really important distinction because if it was only testing for clicks, then it would be basically testing which option is the most effective clickbait. But if you're testing for watch time, it doesn't really matter how many clicks any option gets. It only matters if that click actually leads to watch time. So if I ran an A/B test and people were clicking on the untitled version of my video and they weren't watching it, it would flunk the A/B test. That's not what happened. The untitled option, the A/B test, got
That's so
20%
strange.
more watch time. That's crazy. If you're a YouTuber, you'll know that when you run these tests, you'll probably get like maybe 5 or 6% more on one option if you're lucky. If you're really lucky, maybe you might even get like 10%. 20%? I've never heard of an option getting 20% more watch time on an A/B test before. And every other YouTuber I talked to about this, they hadn't seen that happen either. So clearly, removing a title from your video is a really effective way to get people to watch your content. Now, I don't think this would work in every niche. The fact that my video has like a kind of creepy thumbnail is probably helping me, and the fact that like I am a somewhat well-known YouTuber in the horror niche, that's probably also helping me as well. There's a level of trust viewers have in my content. If I was just a nobody doing this, it might not work as well. Then again, there's a lot of small channels getting a lot of views using this method as well. So yeah, a new YouTube meta just dropped. Just remove the title from your video and people will watch it. So there you have it. Removing a title from your video can actually be an incredibly effective way to get views. Considering how 3 out of the 4 channels we've talked about today have videos with millions of views, you could easily see why people would want to jump on this trend. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the future you'll only see more and more videos popping up on your homepage.
Me neither, man.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end and you're not subscribed, consider hitting that button because you'll be telling YouTube to recommend you more videos like this one.
Will
not just
do.
Made by me either. If you want to
I'm
follow
already
me outside
subbed.
YouTube,
Subscribe to that
I've got
guy.
a Twitter that I've been fairly active on recently. And last but not least, I hope you all have a great night.
Yeah, and see, there's already another video that I'm definitely going to watch later. The closest thing to hell in the USA. Okay, well, yeah. I'm definitely going to watch more from this guy. Like I already said, like, holy crap. The horror's found on LinkedIn. Look at that thumbnail. Yeah, these all look terrifying. So let me know what you guys want me to watch from this guy next. Ooh, YouTube's unwatched horrors. That'll be a banger, bro. But anyways, I do hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you can. And leave in the comments below, what do you guys think about the no title phenomenon? Have you seen a video with no title? Has it scared you? Something like that. But yeah, that's going to be all from me. God bless you and have an amazing day.